Hi folks, Doug here. Ellis Car Customs, where fall has just about arrived at the little shop of horrors. Pretty soon our doors will be closed for the winter and our projects won't be spilling out into the yard anymore. As I record this, it's Labor Day weekend, and between parties and get-togethers and all the traditional Labor Day stuff, we don't generally get much done around here. But I want to start out by saying I appreciate the outpouring of support. I'm going to have to start a new category of like super thanks warriors for the many kind people who've contributed to the channel. Russell, Eric, Keith, Jim, Mark, Charlie, all gave contributions in the super thanks, which is greatly appreciated. I was happy to see, you know, if all of you contributed had channels, I would have done the same for all of you, but Mark had his channel, Mark's Hot Rod Shop, and he contributed, and I gave him a shout, and I was happy to see how many of y'all went over there to check him out and show him some support, so I appreciate that. He had nice things to say about me too in his latest video, and I appreciate that. So I did a lot of thinking, and it's one of them things where I was between a rock and a hard place. What was I going to do? You know, I can't quite collect the Social Security check. My channel is not big enough to support me. I wouldn't want to have to try to live off my wife's paycheck. And you know, given everything, it was like I guess I got to do another year of what I don't want to do, you know. I was sort of saddened by, I won't call him out by name, whatever, but one of my longtime commenters, I don't think he understood my dilemma. It was like he thought, you know, that it was a capitalism thing and the boss has got to make money and stuff like that. And my argument is that taking me off of being an after-hours guy would cost the company $0. You know, as a matter of fact, they'd have one less guy drawing overtime. But you know, I get it. I might have, you know, to people who don't know me, I might have come off sounding like I was belly aching, poor pitiful me, whatever. I was just hoping that I had built enough equity in the company for all I did for them, that the company could do me that one kindness to, in my last year there, to go a little easier on me, being I'm 20 to 30 years older than my co-workers. And I'm doing the same job they're doing, but I'm a lot older. So it would have been nice to think that I had more value to the company than the next guy who walked in off the street. You know, but I found out where I stood, and I guess that's a good thing. Sometimes you have to take stock in life and find out where exactly you stand. But I know where I stand with you guys. You guys have shown me so much love and kindness and support that I somehow am going to keep this thing going. So in the spirit of that, I ordered some more parts that are on their way, and so we'll have another box opening session when they get here, and we'll start throwing some more parts at the thing. You know, I get pleasantly surprised that everyone is so interested in watching this when it's just one car being worked on, you know. Because most channels, they've got a revolving door of cars coming in, cars going out, you know. And the fact that y'all are kind of hanging with me on one car, watching all the little things that go into building one car, you know. And when it's done, we'll move on to something else, but I think it's nice to focus on, you know, getting one thing done rather than one thing half done and start on something else and then go back and do a little more on this. And you know, I sort of do that with the car. I sort of like start on doing a certain part of the car, and then I'll move to another part. It's still the same car, but I'm mixing it up so I don't get bored, and hopefully you guys don't get bored watching me do it. But we'll see what we can get done today. Once again, I really appreciate all the support, and I hope you stick around with me. Thanks again, everybody. There, so we got all our holes hogged out there. All we got to do is tap some new threads in there for some new studs, and then rinse and repeat on the other manifold. But yeah, other than that, like I said, they're in good shape. They cleaned up good, and they should do us fine. So I'll get the other one drilled out, and then tap out some threads. I don't have any studs for them yet. I'll have to pick up some studs. I may wait to tap it out and make sure, you know, I tap it for the right thread pattern of whatever studs I get for it. But at least we got that far. So here's another cleanup job we have to tackle. You see the tin worm has relieved us of some of this tube here. Same thing here and here. Those are the ones that hook to these holes right here. And since we're getting closer to being able to put those inner fender wells in, these kind of go in with the inner fender well. So we'll have to get those holes patched up, get a coat of bed liner on them. Probably that's what I've been using on these things, is bed liner, and have them ready to go when we get ready to put the inner fender wells in.
I come home to find my clothes all over the grass. Your brother's waiting on the porch just to kick my door. What did I do this time? What did I say? Guess it doesn't matter, it ain't safe for me to stay. Think I'll go back to the bar where at least I have my friends. Here we go again. Here we go again. There's a party going on down here, nobody wants to go. Half the guys I'm drinking really got on no more. We can't change the way we act, can't change who we are. You said I'd never amount to much, you've been right so far. I'm living free and easy where the fun never ends. Here we go again. Here we go again. Well, I love it here, drinking with my friends. Pass me another beer. Here we go again. Here we go again. Hey! Well, your brother just came in the door, I ran out the back. The big old bruising boy walking heart attack. If he gets his hands on me, I'm sure he'll break my neck in two. Honey, call him off of me, I'll crawl back home to you. I'll rake the leaves, I'll mow the lawn, I'll even mend the fence. Here we go again. Here we go again. Oh, well, I love it here, drinking with my friends. Pass me another beer. Here we go again.
There, that was the whole process from cleaning them up to planning out. I used, if you haven't seen me do it before, I used the masking tape to make little patterns of the patch pieces that I had to put on there, and then I cut out the patch pieces, and of course a couple of the patches had to go where the pins are for the flaps, so I had to drill out for the pins so that the flaps would work. And then I welded the pieces in, then I ground them, then I put a little bit of filler and fiberglass mixture onto it just to smooth it out. The parts that I repaired, like down there and where that pin is there, you know, they're parts that when everything's assembled, you can't see those parts, but we still want them to be good. So anyways, after I did all that, then I sprayed them down with a bed liner and then topped them with a semi-gloss black, which looks a little shiny right now, but it'll flatten out as it dries. But these will serve us nicely. Like I say, they tuck in behind the inner fender wells and under the fenders, and you can't see 90% of these once everything's installed, but you want them to work. And the only thing I have to find is the cables that attach to the arms on the flappers on these that go into the controller inside of the car. It's they're hard to find, I guess, but mine were all seized up and rusted, and there was no hope of saving them. But I got to find those cables. But other than that, that's those pieces. See, this is one of those cables right here. It's supposed to have a cable down inside of there. You see it. But yeah, it's like a flexible cable with a cable that runs inside of it and has a special end that hooks on to those flapper arms to open and close the vents. But yeah, I gotta find a couple of those. So that's what I've got for you today, everybody. As I said in the beginning, I know my intro was probably a little long. I don't know how many of you sat through it. But I wanted to shout out again Mark and Jim and Russ and Keith and Eric and Charlie, all super thanks warriors who donated to the channel, and it's greatly appreciated. Once again, like I said, you don't have to pay to watch me. If you want to contribute, and it's all voluntary, and it's not going to break your bank, you know, it is appreciated. So we got those pieces done. We got our manifolds, our ram horns drilled out, ready to tap for exhaust studs. I just got to get some studs before I tap them, so like I said, so I know what size to tap them. And once again, going back to the intro, I'm gonna do what I have to do, I guess. And as far as the job goes, you know, what choice do I have, right? But if I get to a point where I think I can comfortably coast to my birthday, my next birthday, then we'll take another look at it then, I guess. But thanks for hanging out with me. It's really appreciated. Thanks for all the support and the well wishes, and What else can I say? Have a good time, everybody. See you on the next one.